The Shang Dynasty, also historically known as the Yin Dynasty, was a Chinese dynasty that ruled in the Middle and Lower Yellow River Valley in the 2nd millennium BC, succeeding in the same mythical Xia Dynasty and followed by the Zhou Dynasty. The Shang Dynasty is the earliest dynasty of traditional Chinese history, formally supported by archaeological evidence. Excavation at the ruins of Yin, near modern-day Anyang in Henan province, which has been identified as the last Shang capital. Tens of thousands of bronze, jade, stone, bone, and ceramic artifacts have been found. Bronze ore was called gold or lucky gold in ancient times, and its bronze rust was greenish-green. Chinese bronzes began from Ma Jiayao to Qin and Han dynasties, and the most exquisite bronzes were from Shang and Zhou dynasties. The earliest bronzes in China were small tools or ornaments. There were bronze vessels and weapons in Xia Dynasty. In the middle of Shang Dynasty, there were many kinds of bronzes with inscriptions and fine patterns. With the development of society, some bronzes have gradually evolved into ritual vessels and become symbols of power and wealth. In the Shang and the Zhou dynasty, Chinese bronzes formed a unique series of shapes and patterns of gods, reflecting a transition from primitive ignorance to civilization. Zun is an ancient Chinese wine vessel. During the Shang and the Zhou dynasties, bronze statues often appeared in sacrificial ceremonies as sacrificial vessels. As the Chinese saying goes, one should raise the Zun above his or her with both hands, and pay their respects as sincerely as possible. The famous Four-goat Square Zun of Shang Dynasty has elegant directions and amazing curving styles. The most eye-catching direction of the Four-goat Square Zun is the four-horned goat head with curly horns on the shoulder, hence the name Four-goat Square Zun. The head and neck of the goat are extended out of the vessel, while the body and legs are attached to the square belly and the feet. Zun directed with exquisite green, goat chest and neck back is full of scale green. Two sides are directed with long crown phoenix green. Circle on the foot is Kui green. As an outstanding representative of the brilliant Bronze Age, Fang Zun was heavy yet dignified and elegant. In addition to the vivid shape of the goat hand, the Four-goat Square Zun's most admirable then its exquisite bronze casting process. The table is full of cloud green, neck directed with banana leaf green, triangle Kui green and animal face green. Kui is the name of a dragon-like animal in Chinese mythology. Dragon pattern with claws on shoulders, directed with snake body. Dragon pattern of high relief, from the square of the four-sides wedding in front, in the middle of the dragon pattern on each side. Since ancient times, the Chinese people have been fond of goat, which are gentle and lovely animals. Ancient people associated goat with beautiful things. People often use such a goat to describe the scholastic conduct, clean beauty. The habit of kneading milk of the goat has been interpreted by later generations as an allusion of filial piety. Above all, however, the goat is a symbol of power and honor. Later generations also regarded the goat as an embodiment of law and justice, reflecting the Asian people's yearning of country ruled by law. In addition, the four goats are cast in the square not only to give people a sense of beauty. It may mean that all aspects of motherland or family can be smooth and prosperous, or it may be the Asian people expect goat and other livestock to thrive. On each of the four sides of the square zun, there is a dragon head. The dragon in China is connected with everything in the world. The dragon has this kind of cultural symbolic meaning is because in the traditional Chinese myths, and they said the dragon in the sky, it can fly in clouds and fog. The dragon in the sea, it can chasing waves. The dragon on the earth is the incomparable magic power. But more important, because of thousands of years, the dragon was often the exclusive right of Chinese slave and the feudal supreme ruler, a synonym of imperial power. Therefore, the emperor compared himself to the real dragon. His body was called the body of the dragon. His clothes were called the clothes of the dragon, and the chair he sat on was called the chair of the dragon. In short, everything connected with their life, and the residents were crowned with the word dragon to signify their superior privilege. We talked about a lot of green earlier. The animal green of the bronze vessels in the Shang and the Zhou dynasties reflected the worship of the gods of nature at that time, so it had a mysterious and solemn atmosphere. However, there are different opinions on the specific meaning represented by these directions with strong mysterious color. The bronze war is the embodiment of consciousness, of respecting God of the early Shang people, while the Zhou dynasty developed into respecting heaven and law, which is the manifestation of trinity of religion, political power and clan power. Most scholars believe that the ruler of the Shang and Zhou dynasty used the fierce terror of bronze vessels to express the mysterious majesty of the royal power and to express their position of political power, statues and walls, which was daunting. The slaveholders embodied all their majesty, their will, their glory, their fancy, and their hope in this terrible and hideous ornamentation.